What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the third, maybe fourth video. It depends on what my upload schedule. Today we are up in Suffolk, Virginia at Lake Meade Park. So you see the sign here. They got some dog parks. They got the kid zone. They've got some tennis courts, ranger station, restrooms, sunrise to sunset, which is nice. So you don't have to wait like you do over at Merchant's Mill Pond, where everybody they close the gates so that you can't get in there. You have to wait till 8 when they open. Oh, but we're gonna go for this little walk and we're gonna see what we can do. I have a dermatology appointment in a couple of hours, and that's why I chose to come up here to Lake Meade, because it's right around the corner from a dermatologist. I'm coming in for a skin check, which at this point it might seem like a little bit of a moot point or kind of a waste. It could be, but it's good for healthcare professionals to look at you to make sure that they're seeing things that they see as they see them, so that it can get fixed. And I know that I'm going into surgery to have a lot of this stuff taken off, so what they're about to see is about to disappear. But what I'm getting after is, these are trained professionals, and they can document this, and then they can send what they've seen in, pictures or descriptions into my file over to my doctors in Centera. Basically, what I'm getting after is, they may see something that I can't see, because all this stuff is on the back of my leg and inside of my leg, and the stuff I can see, clearly I can point out, but the stuff I can't see, don't know anything about, can't see it, don't know anything about it. So, skin check. Oh, goodness gracious me. So it's a pretty big park. There's a lot of really good trails. I think we're just going to do one big circle around the whole thing and just kind of give you the gist of what this place has got to offer. And then from there, I'm just going to cut it, probably go elevate for a few minutes before I have to go sit in the doctor's chairs. They got a couple of good porta-johns out here. They usually do pretty good about keeping them emptied and cleaned out. There's no path over that way, I don't think, but it looks like there could be a cut through of some kind. I don't think that's a designated place to be, although it's a park, so if you wanted to use the clearing to go sit, read a book or something, that'd be fine. Probably not going to talk around a lot of people a whole lot, so as we see them, we're probably going to be quiet. They got the puppies in the dog park. We're going to go to the North Trail Loop. So this is it's just this one path in and out of it. So you're going to walk back this way in order to walk out. Sorry about that glare. That was pretty rough. I've got a phone case on that covers my camera, so it may have some scratches in it that don't bid us super well. Got a little cemetery. I say little, it's actually a pretty big cemetery. But the trail comes and wraps around over here. I like this park a lot because it is pretty busy. There's lots of people that come in and out of here, so it's nice to pass by and say hi to some folks and stuff, and it's pretty nice. More people. How's it going, man? Puppy dog. There's usually some cats over here. I saw them last time I came out here. They were sitting on that log. They looked like they wanted someone to feed them, but as soon as I moved, they started getting real skittish. So I just left them alone. I didn't bring my my phone holder again today. I left it sitting right on the center console of the truck when I got out and started walking. There's a little bit of elevation to this park. I mean, when I say elevation, I mean like real soft hills. There's not a lot going on. You'll see it here. The camera won't really show it to you, but this trail has like a low section in the back where it dips down just a tiny bit. But it's good because it's pretty light walking, and when you're doing this, if you do it right and you walk relatively diligently, then you'll actually have a pretty good time with just overall comfort on these trails. They're not real steep, they're not real harsh. Another sign. And you got that one. No shoreline fishing permitted. And yes, there is a shoreline. So like I said, this is Lake Meade. There is a lake in the back of this park that it sits in front of, and it's pretty. If I'm feeling up to it by the time we get back from this loop, because I walked pretty far from the truck to get out to this section of it. I actually parked further over because I figured I was going to do the whole loop, and if I do the whole loop, we'll be in good shape. But if I don't do the whole loop, I still got to walk basically half of the loop back. So we'll see. But I like this section over here because a lot of people don't really come over to this section. I mean, you saw the one guy walking his puppy. But it's not necessarily what I would call secluded compared to the rest of the park, but there's nothing else that connects to it back in this area. So you just don't see as many people. And it's pretty back here. I mean, just being out here in the woods, like I said, I believe the second video I uploaded, you can't replicate nature that well. Even if you build up an enclosure and you put trees and you put plants and vines and stuff, there's something very different about nature compared to man-made, naturescapes. I think the closest I've really seen to people replicating nature, and I mean truly replicating nature, is fish tanks. Some of the aquarium enthusiasts that exist in the world, you look into their fish tanks and it does really look like they almost just kind of cut a square or a rectangle out of a pond or a riverbank somewhere, and it really does look amazing. I I got into fish tanks for a little while, and I still have a couple of them running. Technically, I have a couple of them running. I only have one with fish in it. The other one's just an empty tank that still has water in it. I'd broken it down and pulled it all apart so that I could do a real good wash on the sand, and then I wanted to restock it. I wanted to redo it and bring my overall fish count down, because I probably got something like 300 or 400 guppies. Oh, look, there's someone out in the water. Might see them ride by. They're boating on the lake. But yeah, there's the lake back through the trees cutting through. Now the other side of the park is on the far side of that hill, and it goes downhill here and then goes uphill pretty good. But all this stays pretty flat except for where we're about to be. There's just a little dip where you almost might see it. It's just a little low area right in there. It's easy to see in person. It's kind of hard to see on the camera because, my camera's just my phone, so it lacks a certain amount of depth to it. But let me get zoomed in just a little. Oh, bad camera. Yeah, see? A little bit of water. And the hill just kind of goes down into it. I think we're standing almost a little below that berm over there, that hill. Let me get you a little... Here's what's funny to me. They've got a smoking receptacle, but the park rules on the front sign say that you're not allowed to smoke, vape, or dip out here. Which is hilarious to me, because when the few times in my life where I've enjoyed having a wad, I use a bottle. I don't spit on the floor. I don't want to spit that nasty shit all over. No, ew. I spit in a bottle. And so, in my mind, when they tell me you can't dip out here, I hope they just mean I'm not allowed to spit all over the floor. Because there's kids out here. There's people that come walk their dogs out here. You spitting nasty ass tobacco saliva all over the place, that's not a good thing for anybody. That's gross. So no, I find that one to be kind of funny, because if I'm spitting into a bottle and I'm keeping myself contained and I'm out here with my dog, or if I had kids, brought my child or something, like, you ain't gonna tell me I can't do that. Not if I'm not being gross. Now, of course, I'm not gonna pull the wad out and flick it out neither. Like, if I'm putting a wad in, I'm gonna leave that bad boy in for a while. I'll just have the bottle on me. And if I happen, it never happens for me. I put a wad in for about a half an hour, and I think I only spit about a quarter of the bottle up. It was really not much. Now we're up that hill and we're back around. We have completed that loop. And you can see this wasn't nothing but a little 15-minute trail. But all the lymphedema literature I find on the internet and tells you do 10 to 15 minutes worth of walking each day, and do a little bit of elevating, and then you should, with compression, be able to make it through your day. Oh, we're gonna run into some more peoples. I can see them through the trees. Oh, they got a puppy. There's a wall there. There's a blue jay. Hey, puppy dog. How y'all doing this morning? Morning. I just want to say that was great pet ownership. Dog took a doogie. They picked it up. Awesome. This is a cute old dog. I do wonder where the kitties were. I normally see them out here in the mornings. I think I've seen them 3 times total. I got pictures of them last time because they finally sat still long enough. Of course, I didn't really get too close to them neither, so they didn't feel too threatened. Boy, oh boy. I'm gonna have to pause the video in a minute. I'm gonna have to use the facilities. Gots to stay relieved. I like down inside of there. It'll be cool because in the spring and summer, you see a lot of this is starting to get its green back. All this stuff fills in, and it's just thick canopy and walls. There is a dog that sounds angry. He's like, hey, 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 ah! Authorized vehicles only permitted on the trails. So I'm not sure if bikes are allowed back here. I keep seeing bike trails, so I guess if you're being nice and gentle and you're not zooming through here running people over and being a menace, then you'd probably be okay. Alright, so here is where that trail wraps around to the left, but I'm going to go that way and use the restroom. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to pick back up right here. Okay, we're back. So this is going to be the long trail that goes all the way around. This will be probably another 10 to 20 minutes. It's not a huge park, but they do a pretty good job of weaving these trails through here so that it's a little bit of a walk. And again, I see bike trails here and there, so I'm going to assume that there are some bikers that come back here and ride. Look at that. Look at all them mud daubers. All them little holes in the bottom of it built up. Look like a giant mud dauber nest. American holly. I assume that's that. Carolina cherry laurel. I don't know. I'm not a arborist. I think that's the right word. I don't know trees. I'm not a tree guy. I know what pine looks like, and that's about it. I kind of know what oak looks like that. I'm pretty sure that's oak. Don't know what that is. No idea. Pretty sure that's oak. Although I might be wrong, that could be holly because I'm looking at the leaves and they look a little spiky. Yeah, see, white oak. I'm sure that's that one because that looks more like a crepe myrtle. Got that smooth bark. But this path leads around and it goes back to the water, and it goes a lot closer to the water's edge than the other trail we just did at the beginning of the video does. Look at all the little squirrelies running around. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get busy. Spring is here. Temps are up. You guys got to get to fucking... I swear. It's always so noisy at a dog park. I can't say anything. My puppy is all about barking any chance she gets. That is totally her thing. Chinese something. Cool. It's growing in thin, so it's about standard, isn't it? Every time you buy something off Temu, you got to make sure you're buying the right size, right? That's a thing. Shrinkflation. Chinesium shrinkflation. That tree was probably bigger when they planted it. Smile. It's definitely starting to warm up out here. It's supposed to get up into the 70s today. We're going to get real warm. Might actually end up having to turn the AC on in the truck. Okay, so it's a beach. Still dead, but it's coming. Carolina jasmine vine on a red maple. So I'm going to assume that it's this one. Assume it's that guy there. Because there's no other trees over here with vines on them. And that's a pine. So that's pretty alright. We can come over here to this bench for a second. So that trail looks like a little slight footpath all the way down. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't want to slip and fall and slide in. It's not on my priority list. Another cool thing about back here, there's a lot of Pokestops. If you're into playing Pokemon Go, it's a good spot for it. Sweet gum with beaver damage. Okay, so those weren't oaks. Those were gums. Haha, I was wrong. I told you I didn't know about trees. Loblawny pine with red heart disease. Another smile. Woodpecker feed station, red maple. I can't wait until we can do live streams. That way I can be interacting with you guys, chatting away. Maybe we'll have some fun, good conversations. Love. There's a heart. Here's another smiley face. It's a mimosa. It's too early in the morning, y'all. A sycamore. I don't know what kind of tree a sycamore is, but it's apparently that kind of tree. You can still see the lake off in the back. Look at the squirrel. Little guy jumping around. Black oak. So maybe they were oaks. I don't know. That's a cedar. Black cherry. I wonder if it'll have any black cherries out here. That'd be pretty badass. Come out here in the middle of springtime and just have a snack. Well, I guess it'd be summer, because if it's not already got leaves and berries growing, then it's probably ligustrum and a leucanthum. Cool. Don't know. Don't care. And this is where it wraps around to the backside of the dog park. We were over that way. And so we basically just done a big lazy circle around it. Now, if you're brave, you can jump the fence and run and hope that you're faster than everybody's dogs. And two, you can walk around to the left. It's an unofficial path, but it's a cut through that they use. Sweet gum. Look at all that down in there. Looking pretty. Yellow poplar. Yeah, so that kind of goes around to the left. It's like a cheat way to get out of here. Otherwise, you got to hang this right, which... Oh, we're going to hang this right. Also, I know you can probably hear me in the background vaping every now and again. I'm making sure that I'm well away from anybody that could possibly care. I don't recommend it. Suffolk Parks and Trails and Recreation's my bad, but I'm technically already dying, so I don't really have much of a need to give up one of my favorite vices. Nicotine's a hell of a thing. I did give up smoking tobacco products, though. That's a good solid. And it's been a few weeks. I bummed a cigarette once from Tristan, maybe twice. I feel like, considering where I've come from and how hard it's been for me to quit some of this stuff, I deserved a little bit of a treat, because I was, again, dealing with the panic and the stress of this stuff, and I was just like, man, I really want that cigarette. So I went and got it. I got one from Tristan, and I haven't gone back to him. Haven't bought any. None of that. It's been weeks. But every now and again, you need something to ground yourself back out. If it happens to be a cigarette, I don't recommend it. I gave them up for the most part, other than the super rare cheat. But, you know. How's it going, man? I feel like there's probably some kind of footpath right there. I feel like I'm seeing, but I don't really necessarily want to walk down that one either. Like, it's not a gravel path. It's just this, it just looks really packed down, leading off in between them trees. Looks like people walk over to that. I'm good. I'll pass. It's pretty sparse in here too, though. It makes it easy to see stuff. A little bit of the problem with the swamps is that they're going to have so much ground level foliage that you're just not really going to be able to see that deep into it, even if you're standing in the middle of it. But here, a lot of the trees are on the taller side, so you don't really, you get some of the fill because some of the vines and bits come in from the outside and they grow up and out. But over here, they stay pretty good. The canopy gets pretty thick, so a lot of the stuff on the ground doesn't really fill out that large, doesn't get that thick. But we're doing pretty good. We're almost up to a half an hour. That's not bad. And I'm walking at a nice gentle pace. I do feel some burning in my calves, but again, that's because I kind of overdid this earlier in the week and I haven't really taken much time to rest. Yes. So, you know, fun stuff. There's another trail on that side of the woods. There's not really anything to look at that way. Morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. How about you?
I'm here. That's true. That's very true. Thank you very much. People are always so pleasant out here. I've seen a couple douche canoes with dogs before, but like most of the people you run into back here, they're just trying to keep themselves moving. They don't make no waves, they don't mess with nobody. She was sweet just now. Alright, so you can go that way, and this will take you straight to the tennis courts, and that will take you back towards the dog parks. We are going to keep on going to the right, because I am going to go up to the edge of the water. I was just going to do it where I know that I feel comfortable doing it. And I'm not trying to sound scared. I need everybody in my audience to understand I have remarkably bad luck. Like, remarkably bad luck. And I don't really need to tempt fate. I'm already dealing with enough. Like, I can slip and fall in my yard, and it's flat. So, definitely one of them things, one of them times where it's not worth tempting fate. So, we'll just do what we can. But this is another little circle. And now, this has some gravel to it, so I think this is an established by the park trail. Although, this is looking more like dirt now. So, I guess this is just something that people may have done, because it looks kind of sandy. I don't really see any gravel in it. I see a lot of, leaf litter and pine straw, but I don't actually see any gravel, and I don't hear any clumping under my feet, nothing. But this is Lake Meade. So you can actually see, you see the foot slide just a little bit right there? Somebody was walking down there, and that'd be me right there. And what would happen to me is my feet would go in between that little branch in the ground, and then I'd go over it and I'd snap my bottom half of the body off, and I'd be a gimp wonder for the rest of my life. You'd call me the no dick doozy, because that'd be about what it was. You see, it's a pretty far drop. That's probably every bit of 10, 15, 20 feet as far as elevation just going down. But you come back here and you just sit here on this bench and just let the breeze on the water come off and cool you down. And it's a nice sight. I mean, you see some houses across the way. There's people that live on the other side of it and all around it and everything. It's really nice, but just, you can't beat a state park sometimes because they preserve the nature along the water line. And so you get to see what all this stuff looked like before people came in. Of course, with a grain of salt, because of the trails. Obviously, it's people are here. But I mean, you start going through, and the further out you go, the closer to nature you get. And, you know, when you live in big cities like we do, or around big cities like we do, you tend to take for granted the little bit of nature you have. So I always recommend to people, go to a park, especially if it's a nature preserve or something, especially if they've got signage so that you can walk around and see different things. Like, I don't know nothing about trees, but all these different little tree stakes, that stuff's pretty cool. Hackberry. Nice. I wonder if that was named by a bad doctor, and then they trolled him on the rename. You know, depending on how this goes, we may actually end up walking around a couple of cities, because I've just gotten to thinking about it. Downtown Elizabeth City up at the ocean, at the waterfront, is pretty out there. We could go get us a coffee or something and then just go kind of zip up and down it just a little bit. It's a little weird down there at times. It's a little ghetto, but man, what are you gonna do? There's a little bit of that everywhere you go. As long as you don't make no waves with anybody, you fine. At least that's my experience. I always try to get along with everybody that I meet. I've never had an issue like looking at someone and thinking that much of them, except a meth head. You can kind of tell who a meth head is. I don't really have much for a meth head. Like, everybody should have fun, but like, I remember that one female comedian had the joke about recycling her meth pee, and I was just like, no, I don't want to associate with anybody that would come to that conclusion on their own. So, whatever. And we're actually not too terribly far from looping around to the front where I've parked the truck. I think this has been a pretty solid walk for what it is. I don't feel too bad. I can feel a little bit of tightness, but it's not horrific by any means. So I'll probably go lay in the truck in the back seat just a little bit, put my feet up. And then, I don't know, I might start walking around doing some Pokemon after that for a little bit, kill a couple more minutes. I'm out here way early before I need to be for my dermatology appointment, and that's partly because I'm kind of panicked and freaked out about everything. Sitting still is really hard for me, and then you just add the fact that I know that I have to be there now, and I know I have to be on time, and all this and all that. It just... oh man, it messes with my head sometimes. I'm glad to know that the lap I'm doing here is a pretty solid amount of time though, because like I said, most lymphedema exercises are talking about 10 to 15 minutes a few times a day. I'm walking a little more than that, but that's also because I'm trying to shed some weight on top of this. Because another good thing that helps is that if you're in better shape and you don't have as much weight on your body while you're dealing with lymphedema, you just won't have as many complications. Your body won't have to fight so hard to move stuff around. Like if I'm laying on my back and I've got a big old gut weighing my insides down, it puts a stress on stuff trying to move everything like it's meant to. So there's a little bit of stuff behind it where I'm doing more than I should, or more than I need to rather, so that I can try and drop a few of these good pounds. I feel like if I can get down from the 210, 212 I am now to around 180, I think based on my height, most of the doctors tell me I should be somewhere between 165 and 170. But I don't know if I'll get down that low, because I'm not going to start jogging. I'm not going to start going nuts with any of this stuff. I'm just walking, and I'm walking as best I can. But, I don't know. I can only do what I can do. See, here's the tennis courts. There's the bathrooms on the other side, that little white building. I don't know if you can see that. There is a cut through here. Now you see we're back over by the play place. There's a cut through here, through these trees, where you can get to that sidewalk, and it'll let you walk up in between the tennis courts. But we're going to go this way and go ahead and go the full round. I wanted to go ahead and get the skate park in here too, because there's a skateboard park. I suppose you could come in here with a scooter or a pair of inlines. I don't know about bikes. I'm sure they'd let you, because they're all concrete ramps and stuff. Although yeah, there it is. Okay, we're coming around. So that left I showed y'all before we went to the right and went out wide. This is where that trail comes out, and it just bugs right on around. See, it just goes all the way down, and we ended up going all the way around. Okay. It's not like the most intricate little skate park I've ever seen, but it's something for the local kids that they didn't have before. It's more than nothing. Looks like they got some rail grindage, a couple hills, a little rhythm box. Looks like they got a grind box, a couple different grind boxes, some stairs, a rail. Like, they built this specific up, and it's pretty good. I've had it up to here. Brother, I feel you. I'm there. Don't worry, friend. Life's doing it slowly every day. You just don't notice because it happens every day by day. Little bench. That's some pretty cool stuff for what it is. I mean, damn park didn't have to do anything for anybody. Oh, look, they got the lounge 'em styles. That's pretty cool. I wait for the day somebody goes to grind that and a giant chunk of it chips off. Be like, son of a bitch. And then this is the back side of the play place. Here, I'll run over here to the skate park rules just in case any of you deviants want to come out and skateboard. You'll know what the rules are before you get there. There you go. Oh, I'm glad to at least be close to the truck. I got my hoodie on. It's getting a little warm, so I'm gonna be doing something about that. Take this bad boy off. They got some hopscotch for the kids. They got a couple different games. If you go around and look at the signs, maybe next time I'm out here, I'll do something with these. I'll show all the different signs to you, but they surround the whole park, so you got to walk the whole thing. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired. I run out of energy real quick nowadays, and us doing 40 minutes worth of walking today is pretty dang good, considering the rest of the days. Like, we're slowly building up a little more and a little more and a little more. So we'll see what we can do. But I figure I'll get back up here. You know what? We'll just cut through here. I was gonna walk the path and go up to the concrete, but there's a path right there. Someone didn't scoop their poop. But anyway, y'all, just remember, we're trying to do this so that we can help each other out, build each other up. Let's try to get these subs up so we can do these live streams so that we can have a bit more fun with this. Be a bit more personal. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming. Until the next walk. Bye-bye.